This video is my top 10 favorite movies that I watched in 2015. I watched a lot of movies. I kept track of every single movie that I watched, and I decided for this list I wanted to stick with movies that I had watched for the first time this year. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they came out this year. So these are based on the movies that I have seen, and they're all movies that I saw for the first time this past year. So yeah, let's get started. We're gonna start with the honorable mention. It's an honorable mention because I really enjoyed it, but it's not one of those movies where you're just like, this is great cinematic value, this is awesome, it's the best movie you're ever gonna see in your life. It's more of just a guilty pleasure, I guess. So my honorable mention is The Scorched Trials, which is the second to The Maze Runner. And the Maze Runner book series is my #1 favorite book series of all time. Like, I am obsessed with the Maze Runner. And so, of course, when I found out the movies were being made, I was ecstatic. And I loved the first one. The second one, still just as good as the first one. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Number 10, I have The Big Lebowski. I don't own this movie, so I just have the picture here. Enjoy. I know it's been out for a lot of years, and I'd never seen it before until I moved to Los Angeles and my cousin told me that I had to watch this. If I'm going to live in LA, I have to watch The Big Lebowski. So I watched it, and I enjoyed it. I remember I didn't watch it just because I didn't think it would be a movie that I liked or would be interested in. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I wish I could explain the premise to you. I'm terrible at explaining things, so I'm very sorry. But basically, the dude gets mistaken for another guy, I guess called the Dude, and starts getting into some weird I am great at explaining things. I'm just not good with words. Not just today, but every day. This is me. This is me. What is up with the lighting? I don't feel like fixing it right now. We will. I fixed the white balance, but yeah, the lighting is still terrible because the sun is really going down now, so I gotta quickly go. Number 9, I have Trainwreck. It was one of those really good comedies. I absolutely love it. Look at me. I'm great at this. Just a natural. I really need to learn how to describe things. That is something I need to learn how to do, so bear with me. It's just about a girl who doesn't believe in love and finds love but doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know, it's just one of those classic rom-coms that you love. I will say the reason why it's so low on the list is because I felt it was maybe like 20 minutes too long. There were a couple things that could have been taken out, or just some things that could have been rewritten to make it shorter. Other than that, I loved it. Oh man, this lighting is terrible. I need more light. Sun, come back. Okay, made this brighter. Now we're good. For number 8, I have Leggies. Again, another one I don't own, but I would eventually like to. I watched this as a girls' night with my roommate, and it was a really fun time. And it was really funny. Another romance movie. Man, I just got the romance going on here. But it's got Keira Knightley, Sam Rockwell, that girl from Kick-Ass. Can't think of her name right now. Chloe something Mortez? Is that right? I think it was a really great cast and a really well done movie with a really good story. The Keira Knightley basically she's trying to escape her life because she just got asked to be married and she was like, I'm not ready for that. This is all too crazy, and she also has no idea what she's doing career-wise, so she just kind of takes a week vacation. She tells everyone she's going somewhere, but she really is not going to that place. And she ends up befriending a teenager in high school and starts hanging out with those high schoolers, and she ends up also befriending the high schooler's dad, and things happen there, and it's just really fun. Go watch it. Number 7, I have the Duff, another romantic comedy added to this list. I'm just very predictable. I'm sorry, I love rom-coms, don't judge. And this one, I wasn't expecting much of it because it just kind of seemed like a teen cliche kind of thing, but it actually was very enjoyable. This one takes place in high school where a girl, she gets called a Duff by this guy, and Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. She gets mad at the guy, but then she decides, she's like, hey, I will help you with chemistry if you help unduff me. Romance ensues, but there's also a mean girl, and she's got her own friend drama that's going on. It's actually pretty good. Number 6 is, I guess, a little ironic, Big Hero 6. Perfect for number 6. This is a Disney movie that came out in January of 2015 in the movie theaters, which I did see it then, but I've also watched it like 3 more times because I have it, so I watch it. I swear, Disney and Pixar as well can do no wrong. Everything they come out with is brilliant and amazing. I cried, I laughed. Ugh. I love you. I love you. Am I losing more light? I am still losing light. Alright, added more light. This is about a kid who likes to build robots, and his brother built a robot as well, and he kind of becomes friends with this robot. And they go on adventures together, and they end up becoming superheroes in a sense because they find a bad guy and they try to take down the bad guy. That's the best description I could give right now. And for number 5, we've got Interstellar. I don't own it, but my roommates own it, and so I watched it with them one night, and it was so good. Again, this is one of those movies where I didn't think I would like it, so I didn't go and see it. My roommates wanted to have a movie night, and they put on this movie, and I was like, you know what? Let's just watch it. Let's just see what it's like. And I was pleasantly surprised. This was so good and so fun. It's got Matthew McConaughey, so obviously, I mean, I've been in love with Matthew McConaughey since his rom-com days, but now all of a sudden everyone is obsessed with him. But I've been in love with him longer, so he is just amazing. I kind of am trying to remember the premise right now, and I'm a little confused. I remember watching it the whole time. I was confused a bunch of times. So I'm like, physics, science, I don't understand it. Oh, right, Matthew McConaughey goes to Mars to try and see if they can, I think I'm telling the right story. Obviously he goes with a couple other people. They just go to space, and they try to find another planet that they can habitat on, or that they can live on, because Earth is dying, and they need to go try to find somewhere else where they can live. I can't remember if they do or not, but they end up being in space for years and years and years, and I recommend it. It's good. I wish I could be better at explaining stories. Number 4, surprise, surprise, another rom-com, but number 4 is They Came Together. Now this is not your typical rom-com. This, obviously, it's Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler, so you're gonna love it no matter what. This is basically just kind of making fun of rom-coms while also being a rom-com, which is what I love most about it. Because I understand why people make fun of rom-coms. It's understandable, I get it, but I still love rom-coms. But I love that they can just make fun of it while also embracing it. And it's so funny. Oh my god, this is hysterical. I also just love the tagline. He came, she came, they both came. You know what I mean. Sorry. Parents are watching this. So, great rom-com. Funny. Watch it. Now we're on to number 3, and number 3 is The Martian. Again, this is another one I don't own, but I did see it in the theaters with friends, and I was just going to see it because I was like, I hear great things about it, but also like friends are going and I kind of want to hang out. And I pleasantly was surprised. As always, I swear, whenever it's not a rom-com, I'm always like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. And then I end up liking it. So Martian is another space movie, and Matt Damon, yes, it's Matt Damon, he goes to Mars with his spaceship crew of people, and he ends up getting left on Mars because they think he's dead. But he is actually alive, and so he tries to live on Mars with the supplies that he has. People, like people on Earth and his space crew, they find out that he is alive, and so they try to go back to retrieve him. This movie is also based off of a book by Andy Weir that I really wanted to read, but I haven't read it. But I do hope to read it someday because the movie was so great and excellent and amazing. Just saying words. And number 2 is Hector and the Search for Happiness. This movie is on Netflix. And I love Simon Pegg. This movie was actually recommended to me by a coworker of mine. He said he really liked it, and he's a film student, so I trusted his judgment. And of course I watched it, and it was so good. It's about this guy named Hector, and he travels the world trying to find out what happiness means because he doesn't feel like he is happy himself. So he's trying to find, through other people's happiness, what his happiness is. It's just a really fun and crazy ride, and it's hysterical, but it's also very moving and uplifting. By the end, you're like sobbing in tears. It just felt so good after I watched that movie. Ugh. So that was that. So I'm trying to really rush because lighting is going fast. Number 1 is Kingsman, The Secret Service. This, I can't even, I just finished being on set with the crew. It was the last day, and we all didn't really want to say goodbye to each other, so we're like, let's go to the movies. So we went to the movies, and we saw Kingsman. They all suggested it, so I was like, I haven't seen a trailer for it. I haven't heard about it. But they say it's got Colin Firth in it, so I'm like, sure. I love Colin Firth. Oh, I've literally watched this movie so many times this year. I love it. And the main guy in it is very good looking. But I also just love stories that are about spies in a way, I guess. And this is kind of like a spy movie, but a really cool spy movie. My favorite scene, oh my god, I loved how they did it. And it was like, it's supposed to look like it's all in one take. I don't think it was all in one take, but it's supposed to look like it's all in one take. And it's the major fight scene in the church. Oh. But basically this, I guess it's just kind of about this street kid. He's on the streets, having a terrible home life, kind of gets sucked into this competition to become the new member of the Kingsman Secret Service. And Colin Firth is kind of like his mentor and guide. But they end up running into some bad guys and that are like trying to take over the world. Really wild ride. Love it, love it, love it. Those are my top 10 movies of 2015. Go check out top 10 books of 2015 and my top 10 TV shows of 2015. Go check them out if you want. Got lots of tops. Got lots of favorites this year. So, that's it. Bye!